So this is my backup carrots that will go right behind the other ones. This is the second succession. I didn't show you the third succession I planted, but they're already starting to come up, and I'll show you that a little bit later. The peas, it's too horrible to try to grow them this time of year. You just got to keep them wet as hell. I may come out and snap a few pea pods like that one right there to actually, that one to throw into some Chinese food. Now entering into the greenhouse. Okay, this kale right here, what I've decided to do, since I don't eat a lot of it, I decided to actually just go ahead and I'm going to clip the lower leaves. Clip all the lower leaves and let them grow in the center so they thin out, so there's more ground exposed to the, so get more ground exposure down here. And then what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to dehydrate these and I'm going to put them in a jar. So I'll be dehydrating a lot of these, and mostly I'll use it for, I'll break them up in small leaves, so I'll put it in for cookings and stuff like that. The same thing with the celery. It's getting huge now, and you can see it's getting decent size. I'm going to start thinning this out also, and when I thin it out, and I'm getting a few slugs in there still, I'm going to thin it out. But mostly I like the leaves to cook with, so I'll be thinning it out and getting it set and drying this stuff out too, or I'll be freezing some of it because there's a lot of it. Not much luck in the broccoli, and I've heard a lot of people have no success out here with broccoli. I'm getting little small crowns like this and like this. So I just keep snipping them off. This one's getting more like I like to see it, but there's just small crowns, so I'm just going to keep cutting them off and keep harvesting. You got to cut the tops of these flowers off when they start to bloom. I'm just going to cut it off, and the rabbit likes them. See, I'm starting to get something respectable here. Not really though. It's just, I'm really disappointed. It just didn't go the way I wanted to. Now, the carrots, these are rainbow carrots, and they're just flowering like crazy. And I want more rainbow carrot seeds, so these carrots were in here for a reason, just to produce seeds. So I'm going to let them produce as many seeds as they want to. Now, if you look at the till tomatoes right here, you can see they're starting to put on flowers and fruit and stuff like that. And so they're getting pretty huge. They're as big as the tomatoes. They're not as bushy as the tomatoes, but they sure like to flower a lot. They have a beautiful flower, by the way, if you look at till tomatoes. Those are those green little things that have a husk on them that you buy in the store. You make salsa verde out of. And of course, we're looking at the greenhouse again, and you can see that I'm getting just clusters and clusters of beefsteak tomatoes all over the place now. And I've got one about the size of a baseball, if I can find it. Yeah, it's down there. See if you can see that one down there. But it's just starting to put on fruit. I found that if I'm growing these in the greenhouse, they're not splitting apart for some reason. If I try to grow these outside, they don't come out so well. So I've got just tons and tons of tomatoes starting to be put on, and that's great because I'll make some sauce out of them. So tomatoes are doing great, and now the green beans. Oh Lord, can you see that? I've got a wall of green beans, and these are really starting to put out the beans now. I just picked them yesterday, so there's just little ones on here right now, but it's just starting to put out a ton of them. Okay, so here's these should be picked right now, so I need to come out and pick these tonight. But you can see right here how the beans are doing. They're doing great. I'll just pick them, and for two people, it's enough for a couple meals a week with just this right here. And plus I have the ones outside that'll be up to maturity within, approximately about a month. They'll be up like this ones and growing good. And I'll probably do some more succession planting. See, there's one right there that could be picked, but I'll let it go another day. There's just a whole bunch of them in here. You see how fast they grow. I just picked some yesterday, and they weren't even this size. They were like this size right here. They were just this little skinny thing. This is probably a better thing right here. They were just this little skinny thing right here, and today they're like that. So they grow really, really fast. And I like green beans. They're always good for a meal. Pepper plants, jury's still out on them. got some right here. Finally got something off the pepper plants. I figure it'll probably take another month for these things to really start pouring out the peppers. Now, the cilantro. Oh boy. That thing's getting huge, and it's blossoming, so I'm just going to let it go to seed, most of it. I ripped out the spinach over here in the corner, and the chard, you wouldn't believe this, but this chard was as high as this yesterday as the eggplant. I'm still waiting for something on the eggplant. I've seen some blooms. I don't know if they were just male flowers or what. But the chard, I'm getting like 2 or 3 servings a week out of this now, just out of this little patch of chard. And we just had some yesterday for dinner. The emerald lettuce, or the ruby leaf, if you want to call it, is starting to produce seeds. You can see the seeds on this. So in the next day or so, I'm going to chop this whole top off and let it keep growing leaves. The same with this one right here. And I'm going to harvest these seeds so they can actually plant them, you know, all winter long. So not only am I getting leaves like this, which I put some diatomaceous earth on it because I've had some slug issues. Next year this will go to the side of the shed on the right side, and this greenhouse will be moved completely out of this area because it's just too close to the house and there's just too many slugs in this area. But yeah, I get leaves like this. I'll roast this off and I'll feed to the rabbit today. And of course the romaine lettuce and stuff's bolting too, and basically I'm gonna let a lot of this stuff go to seeds while I'm still harvesting the leaves like this off the side of it for lunch. Get Mr. Rabbit a little more of a meal here. He likes this stuff. So there's some butter crunch for him too. In fact, I'll probably come out here and chop some up for him because this is just more than I can actually eat. And I actually need to clean out the bottom over there with all the leaves on the ground. So that's next priority because otherwise it can rot the plant out. So you need to snip the lower leaves. That's the same thing with the kale or any other leaf vegetable like that.